A month or so ago, I got the idea to build my own DIY electric bicycle. I've got a bunch of lithium cells at home and didn't have any plans on building anything specific with them, but this sounds like a good project for all these lithium cells. So I looked around for a good used bicycle around town, some older bicycle that could be rebuilt really easy, and build it into an e-bike. I didn't have any luck finding anything that folks didn't want a brand new price for, until a buddy at work who rides an electric bike. He's had this e-metric bike for about 2 years. He told me he's got his old electric bike in a storage unit and he needs to get rid of his storage unit. So I thought, well, what the perfect solution. He didn't want any money for it. He just wanted to get it out of the storage unit. So on this day I went over to have a look at this thing. It's not a complete bike because he did sell some of the parts off of it, namely the back wheel, the battery pack, and the controller, along with the rack that would mount on the back that would hold all that. So it's far from a perfect bike, that's for sure. It's called an E-Zip Trails, which is kind of the lower end bike as far as electric bikes go. However, it's got some pretty good reviews. Some people say these are great little bikes, others say they're not, but for me, it's a free bike that I'm taking home, and I thought, perfect. So let's load this thing up in the back of the truck and take it home. It is a 26-inch bike, which is what I wanted, and the electric motor is intact there. He said it did work before. I have no idea if it works now. I will eventually test it out. But I've got a whole bunch of options on building this bike. So I can either rebuild this bike back to what it originally was. All the parts are available online, but unfortunately it's going to be a little expensive when you look at what the wheel would cost and the new rack and all of that. Apparently this bike originally was a 24 volt lead acid system. My original idea was to buy a whole hub motor with the wheel, and they come out with some pretty nice kits where you get the motor, the wheel, the tire, the inner tube, and the controller, and all the other little parts. It's really a very nice kit. And when you look at the price compared to trying to piece this thing back together, well, it's kind of a no-brainer for me. I think it would be better off to buy the new kit and do it that way. I believe this original motor, and I don't even know if it works, is only a 450 watt. I am not sure, 100% sure about that, but it looks like that's what it was. The new motor that I'm looking at is 1,000 watts. That's quite a bit of difference there. So the first thing I need to do is to clean this thing up and then take this bike completely apart and make sure everything that's here is going to be completely rebuildable and usable. And once I determine that, then I'll probably give the frame a nice coat of paint and start piecing this thing back together. I'll of course need a new front tire and inner tube, and then I'll decide on the kit that I'll buy for this. I may even go more wattage, I don't know. And I will build a lithium battery bank for this, and it'll probably be a 48 volt motor. I think you can do a 36 or 48, but a 48 sounds good. I'd have to buy some more lithium cells, which I already did, so I'd really be ready to go on this. That's going to be a fun project. Unfortunately, for the summertime, my schedule tightens up a lot and I'm not going to have a whole lot of time, but I will definitely get to working on this at some point.